Hello, hello, welcome to Ask Vania, our first time. So let me make sure everything is working. Please, if you're watching me, let me know that you can hear me. I always have audio issues, and I'm gonna share. If you're watching on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, I think I'm live on everywhere, so you can share for me as well. And let's see. Yeah, looks like I am live on Facebook, so it's working. But let me just get. Are we there? Yes! Yay! Look, it's weird. It's my first time streaming with the software, so the Instagram might get a little strange. If you want to interact, you can post comments. I think I can see the comments. Can you say hi so I see if your comments are coming through? And the YouTube also, let's see. Somebody say hi. Tell me if you can hear, if there's echo. I haven't been live in a minute, so I'm a little like. I promise next time I won't do all that. Yes. Okay. I know there's a little delay. If you want to see on the big screen on YouTube, the link to my YouTube is on my bio on Instagram. Can you hear? Can you hear? All right, so let's get started. I hope you can hear me. Okay, so this is a weekly video that I want to do. Sound is good, thank you. Awesome. So let's get started. Welcome to Ask Vania. I decided to do this because I know a lot of people need this help, and I've been working with my students in my new program, and they have so many questions, and I realized like how artists have not much interest in marketing themselves, and because I've been doing this for so long, for 10 years, I think I can share everything I know with you. So it is an opportunity for you to ask questions regarding, this as what I know the best is what I'm doing. It basically is I learned a lot of online marketing because of my digital course business, Wardrobe School. And so I'm using those strategies to help people with their handmade businesses, right? And this is very effective, very cool. Not many people do that. And so basically what we do is we do launches, which is I call online pop-ups, or people do shop drops as well, but we close the store. Depends on what you want to do for yourself. But basically what it is you it's basically what I talk about is how to better your product to be more sellable, in terms of like your mix of products. Also social media, how you can get social media to attract the right people to you, so then it's the right customer. And then you do email marketing, and then you have a simple website that you don't need to do SEO or anything like that. So those are the things I know and that I can share with you. So if you are, in any stage you are with your stuff, that if you're making, I know like we just want to be making and wish people showed up at the studio and just buy. At least that's my dream. But it's not always like that. So we have to go out there, find the people, and the internet is just amazing. I've been selling in person forever, since I was 20 years old. And once I learned about the internet, then I realized, wow, there's so many people out there than people who are walking by my store or something. So, whether you are starting out, you need like encouragement, you need to just do your first step, or you are already selling, you're already having a hard time getting more sales, you need strategies and things like that, you can ask me. Just come on and I'll respond. Okay, today I asked around Instagram if you guys have questions. I have 4 questions I'm going to respond, and I think those can help everybody. And if you do have questions now, you can ask too, and then I'll respond here as well. Okay, so let's see. I took notes. Let me take a sip of water. Are you good? Where are you watching from? Also, I'll leave the replay. If it looks good on Instagram, I'll leave it there. If not, it will be on YouTube. Okay, and my YouTube, the link to my YouTube is on my bio on Instagram. It is all Wardrobe School everywhere. And then on Facebook, it's my page but I share to my group too. So it's all good. Okay, that's kind of like a warm-up because I used to do lives all the time and I haven't, and I changed the software. Madison, Wisconsin. Oh, that's cool. I have a friend who lives in Wisconsin. I love him. 2 friends, a couple. So Teresa, who is my long-time follower, she does clothes. I think she makes accessories. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Teresa. I'm talking about you right now. So Teresa asked if basically her question is like, how do I schedule time to do the creation of pieces? So because she's like, I do classes similar to me. She teaches classes. I think she teaches in-person classes, and she makes stuff to sell, but she does commissions, right? But she wants to have that time to just be creating, and that's basically what I wish I could do all day too, right? Isn't it great to be a famous artist so you can just be in the studio and then the galleries come and sell, right? You make clothes, right, Teresa? Okay, great. So I think, look, this is a question that is actually a discussion we can have, because I have the same problem. What I try to do is I separate times. Like today, the only thing I have for my online business is this video that I'm doing. And the rest of the time I'm working on my clothes. I'm actually embroidering. I made I made those little embroidered pieces, clouds, and those little faces that I'm gonna apply on clothing. And so I'm just, then I take the whole day to do that, because basically my answer is, I think you have to separate a time, dedicate a time just to be free of anything else and be creating. Otherwise, it's too confusing. I am kind of chaotic person, so I do many things at the same time. I'll sit in the computer and then I'll go do this and do that. But I try to, when it's for me to come up with new stuff, I like to have time to warm up, because like if I just show up, sometimes I have an idea. I'm home, I'm driving here, I'm on the train or something, and I'm like, okay, I have this idea, I'm just gonna go straight and do that. Okay, fine. But sometimes I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I have that dedicated time. So I come in here and then I look through the stuff. I go through I have tons of stashes of clothes that to get upcycled, and fabric and trims and all that stuff, and scraps, So I go through some stuff, and those pieces are going to give me inspiration, and then I come up with ideas. But then I need that time to come up with the idea, look at the stuff, and then probably by the end of that day, I'm not going to have anything finished, but I have some stuff started that then I go home, and late at night, I look at again. I take pictures. I always take pictures of what I'm working on. And late at night at the house, before I go to sleep, I look and see what it's pleasing me more. And then next day I'll work on that again. But then it turns into something that's already planned, and it's easy for me to fit in with my other tasks in the day. But it's definitely a challenge, and I've been working on this actually myself to try to separate the times, because it's too much. Like now I'm helping other women with their own businesses, right, in my program, and I have to think of their businesses as well. So it's like, and I'm always thinking about it. I think, oh, she needs this idea. She could use this, that such and such could do that. So it's many things in my head that definitely is hard to keep up with, but so far, so good. So Teresa, I think you should Can you take 1 day a week at least, or like 6 hours, or at least like 3 hours in a couple days or 3 days, and then you sit there and then you just let your mind, you know, maybe put your phone away, put everything that could distract you, and then go with your fabric, and then you come up with ideas. Because that's what matters at the end, right? What we're gonna have is what we create, right? They're gonna remember us for that. Lisa, how long until you find a niche? How specific does it need to be? I don't think you have to worry about that right now. I think you should, what I teach is more to find the person you want to sell to. You know, we call the avatar, right? But it's like the ideal client, which usually tends to be similar to ourselves. And then you think of it, but it, like, I help the woman like constructs that person. So you construct the avatar, and then you sell to that person. You know, you create stuff to that person. So basically, like, if it's a millennial woman that is has 3 kids, and she likes theater, and she's a dancer, and she's you know, she makes $80,000 a year, she lives in Florida, and whatever, and then you construct that person, what things she likes, what matters to her, and then you think of products that you like, that she would like as well, and then you create, and then you put it out there, and then you see who is going to be attracted to, if it's matching what you had in mind, and what works better, right? The thing is, you have to start. And Lisa, this is very important for you specifically, because I know you have a hard time starting. But the thing is, you have to start, because when you put your stuff out there, you see what is attracting people the most, and then you work more on that. The people are going to tell you. But if you can tell me, Lisa, what niches are you thinking? You're thinking of upcycling, or you're thinking of creating something like totally that is multiples, or homewares? What are the niches that are your options? Then I can help you with that. And so let me see the other question. You're welcome, Teresa. Chloe said, how to sell more. Chloe from Ohio. Chloe, if you're here, hi. How to sell more crochet hats. It's pretty much like everything, right? The thing about crochet, my mom does crochet. I don't, because it takes a long time. I appreciate people who do crochet. And it's like everything else, but the thing about crochet, it takes time. So you have to figure out what is the well, I wrote, let me tell you what I think. The first thing, because I can't help it, how much you're selling your hats for? Chloe, if you're here, please, what's the price of your hats? Because before you try to sell more, you should try to sell for more, because I have a feeling that you sell for too low, and it takes a long time, and it's to make, right? And that's what I was leaving this answer for the end, because I think it's a touchy subject, and a lot of creators are scared of charging. And look, me, I don't even charge a lot. I'm raising my prices, but I don't charge a lot for my pieces. But I think we have to price our pieces well, especially crochet, because crochet is like you're like doing that millions of times. You're doing that loop. So it's a masterpiece when it's finished, right? So I think before you think of selling more of the, more quantity, think of selling each piece for more. Okay, and how can you sell for more? You can, you have to think of there's a thing called unique selling proposition, right? So it's pretty much like, what's special about your hat? The crochet thing is a classic, right? The style, it's very trendy now. The granny squares, those granny square hats that are beautiful. When the corporations are making crochet, you can tell that it's trendy. So you have to think of what yours has to, what your piece has that is different than everything else, right? Do you use a different threads? Do you use your design is different, the fitting of your hats are different, because you need that thing to make special, and then you can sell for more. Also, the other thing that will make you able to sell for more is to make really personal. And I always advocate for that. You have to make your brand personal. That's the other thing that artists try to not do much, is to not appear much on their social media, or not be, you know, I posted that the other day. You should have your name there. But most people like to put their brand, and they think like, oh, now I'm a brand and I'm this. And it shouldn't be like that. You are making, especially if it's crochet, unless you have a team of people making. But if you're making, and you know, you have to show your process, what you buy to use it, how you do, what times do you do. Also, all that stuff will make the piece more important. People value more, and then you can sell for more. Okay. Now, how can you sell more of that? Then there are strategies that you can do, right? One thing is that you have to, and you know I talk about that a lot, is the email. You gotta do email marketing, because you have to have your customers, your reach. When it's on Instagram, look, I have how many? 13 followers right now. When I post something, I get, sometimes it's like 300 people see it. My story sometimes is like 100 people see it. When Instagram is not in the mood, when they are in the mood, I get like 1,000. But most of the time it's like 200, 300 views. I have no control. But when I have their emails, I have control. So if you stay in touch, if you have a personal relationship with the followers, and you have their emails, and you stay in touch with them, that will help you. Every time you release something, you can tell them, and then they'll purchase, right? So that will help you make more, sell more. I also do local markets, because that way you can get emails, you can get people, and that's, local markets, the best way to get cash fast, right? Because you go there, you sell in one day, great. And the shop drops and online pop-ups, which I teach my students, is amazing, because you create that flow. It's like a rush of sales in a little amount of time. That's how you can, you know, so you collect, you make for a month, and then you do the drop, and then you make sales. All right, Chloe? And if you have more questions, please leave a comment. I think the video is going to be up here. So I can, if you want to give me more context, how much you sell for, can you produce more, and what have you tried so far, I can help you deeper. All right? Hi, Tanya. Hi, Doug. Tanya, long time. Yeah, I know, Tanya. Well, what a shame that I disappeared. But I've been here. I'm not live. I've been teaching, really, like, you know, so this topic is great. I need to people look forward to watching the recording. Yeah. Oh, she left. I don't know, EFA. I don't know your name, but thank you for watching, and I'll be here next week again if you have questions. All right. What else? Mara already responded her on Facebook, but I think you guys could use the answer as well. Mara asked if she should tag, location tag on Instagram, if that would help her to get more reach on her posts. You know what a location tag is, right? So I'm in Brooklyn here, there are businesses around, and I could just, when I post, I could tag the location. And her question, she asked that, and she also said that when she does that, she gets spam. So guess what the answer is? No, you should, I don't know, I've done that. There was I think before the pandemic, there is a popular restaurant near my place, my house, and I would tag them because I knew their customers would be my customers. So then I would show up on their, you know, when people would search for their restaurants, they would see my post as well. I don't think that ever helped me. I don't know. So I don't think, if you're getting spam, don't do. I know a lot of people get spam. My other student, who is just in my sewing class, said that she would post, and then she had people from all over the world commenting a lot of stuff. I think that has to be with location tag, you know, geotag, and also hashtag. If you put hashtags that are like targets, think about, like, you know, crypto. I know you're not putting crypto, but things that would be like making money, those things that attract scammers. So avoid that. Try to do hashtags that are different and strange, so then people won't find you and won't be spamming you. Okay, but the location, I have never heard anything about the geolocation, really. I've taken many Instagram courses. I don't think that makes any difference. All right? What else? What else? Okay, so I have one more question to answer, unless you guys have more questions. Fatima, right? I think that's, in Brazil we say Fatima, but I think in English it's Fatima. Fatima said, oh, she's doing her first in-person show, like her market, right? This fall, selling clothes, and she wonders how many pieces she should bring. That's a great question because it really depends on how, what kind of, what plan you have, right, for your clothing. Like, do you do more like a minimalist that's more expensive, or you do more like a lot in quantities, right? Usually, if it's handmade, I bet it's like less stuff for higher prices. So I would do not many. I do a lot. I have what I think each rack fits like 60. I have like about 100 pieces on my markets when I do. But don't think I made all those. I do that, which I call the banana method, the banana hack that you can find on Instagram there, which I sell other pieces. And sometimes I have more of other pieces than my own. Lately, I have a lot of my own because I do the embroidery, but so I have about 100 pieces, but I have my space in the market is 10 by 10, right? 10 feet by 10 feet. So it's not too full. Sometimes I think it could be less, and I'm going towards there because I'll have more of my stuff, just a few and more expensive. So pretty much that's it. But when you do online, for instance, my student in my program, she did her first drop, and she was like, I told her that she should have at least 12 pieces. That's actually what I like to say, that if you are going to do a drop or anything, at least 12. And she's like, okay, I'm going to do 12. But then she couldn't make the 12, and she had 6. But and I'm like, you do it? She's like, okay, I'm going to do it still. And she did it, and she sold 2. So it's 1/3 what she had for sale, she sold. It's amazing, right? If I sold 1/3, I would also do great. So I think I sell about 30 pieces when it's a good day. But anyway, so you think about what is, because the main thing is how much money you're going to make at the end of the day, right? Are you going to, if you have 10 pieces that are $30 each, it's just $300, and then you're not going to sell all. We never sell everything unless it's ice cream, okay? And so if you only have 300, there's always a sell-through, right? Like a rate that is like you have a percentage and you're going to sell some percentage. So like I said, for me, I sell 20 to 30%, 25% of my pieces. And so let's say if you have $300 worth of stuff and you sell 20%, that's $60. That probably doesn't even pay for the booth, right? So you have to have more volume. Always think about having enough to if you sell 20% of that, you're going to make enough to make you happy. That's pretty much it. And then you price. And I think I have tips on pricing your merchandise. And also, always remember, don't charge so cheap. Make sure you're charging enough. Think about that you have to make money, and eventually you have to outsource, you have to hire somebody. All your bills are included, everything, the material, your time, and time passes. Eventually you die, and then your time, you're just like sewing things for nothing, okay? That's my, my thing. Lisa, you asked, upcycling. How to best display upcycled clothing. They aren't really visible on a rack. I keep changing which one is at the front. I do that, Lisa. I keep changing too. So throughout the day, and I did that at my store, and I do that on my website, and I do that at my market. I just hang. So my booth is a square, right, 10 by 10. I have the racks on the sides, and I have the back of the tent. And on the tent, I stretch a piece of white fabric, and so I have clothes on the sides, and then I hang pieces on the back, and I hang pieces whenever I can. I don't hang a lot around, like some people have like a bunch of stuff hanging. I don't. I'll put all over, but I just put one on the front, one in the middle, and a few in the back wall. I hang a lot. That's why I have the white background, so it's like more neutral, and then my clothes show up. And then throughout the day, because people always see, and that's like, by experience for like 100 years doing this, people always look at the ones that you're hanging, obviously. Some women who are really, they're shopping and they know what they want. They go straight to the rack and they're like, you know, curating what they want to take, and then they pick and they try. But a lot of people are just, you know, passing by and they're looking and they see the ones that are hanging, like I say, featured, right? They're featured. And so they're like, oh, okay, they like that. And those are usually the first to sell, to sell. Sometimes they're more high priced, so it doesn't sell too fast. But, you know, then it sells that one and then I place another one. And it's usually my new arrivals. Also, when I see that, you know, a couple hours later, I see there's a lot of traffic, but it's not, people are not really paying attention to that, I'll switch. Because that means like it's not, you know, I loved it, but they didn't. And then you go on the rack and I try again next time. So I do that, I rotate. And to respond about your niche, I think if you're doing upcycling, don't even think so much about the niche. Think about what you like making. And also what is pieces that you can get return from. Because if you do those like $15 things, $20 things, you're never making any money, you know. So make things that are, say like if you're gonna do placemats for the table, do a 6-piece placemat and then it's $120 or something. You know, it's not like 20 bucks, 15 bucks, because then it takes so long and you get discouraged. That's why I encourage you guys to charge enough so it's valued, and you get courage to keep going. You get excited, right? Otherwise you give up. Okay? I think I answered all the questions. Do you guys have any more questions? Or you have anything to say? Thank you for joining me today. I'll be back next week, and I post a thread on Instagram and Facebook, and you can just leave your question there, and then I'll respond live. If you want to come live, I'll respond to you live as well. But you can watch the, oh, look at my shirt. You can watch the replay later. All right? Thank you. Tell your friends. I'll see you next week. Bye.